Well, hello my beautiful Aries, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let us get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your monthly reading for September. I can't believe we're here. Where is the time going? It is flying on by, but here we are. And let's just say, hold on to your hats because astrologically, we have a lot going on. It's a very unique month indeed. Eclipse season is upon us, so things may get a little bit wild. Not one, but two eclipses occur this month. Plus, we also have a second new moon, often called a black moon, and that's going to occur, of course, in the sign of Virgo, a Virgo portal, if you will, which is also very unusual, but it also coincides with a partial solar eclipse. I mean, that is a lot. That's a lot going on, so let's unpack this. Eclipses, they disrupt the natural order of things and are often perceived as harbingers of change. Now, this will offer you a pivotal opportunity to contemplate radically new directions, hatch new plans, of course, set new goals or make new promises to yourself and really keep those promises too. Now, partnered with the fact that we have officially moved into the sign of Virgo, consider September a bit of a quality control month where you cast a meticulous eye over your life to refine or even redefine plans with a very sharp mind, spotting anything that does not meet your expectations and course correcting if necessary. Holding yourself to higher standards is what it's all about this month. Decluttering, reorganizing, methodically completing complex tasks to a high degree, of course, whilst also making space for hard-earned rewards. Plus also you'll be scheduling in some very quirky, fun times and even quenching a thirst for knowledge, which may see you scrolling or even enrolling on workshops, classes, forums, or learning new skills. Oh, and also you'll be staying on top of your health goals too. I mean, whew, that is a lot. And your 12th house and 6th house is influencing you this month, of course. So you're really going to prioritize your own needs this month and stick to some sort of schedule there as well. Now also, you know, this month, of course, because of that Virgonian influence, it asks you to look at the bigger picture, but also refine the details. So you're going to be looking at your life as a whole. So you may feel completely exhilarated, but also needing a well-earned massage on a secluded beach somewhere with an iced beverage of choice and your do not disturb sign on. I mean, if only. And if you are going on a vacation and you've got a little, room in your suitcase for me, I'll join you for sure. But at least you'll be really proud of yourself that you've been very productive this month because you'll be ticking a lot off your to-do list, awarding you with a sense of achievement. Now, back to those pesky eclipses. I mean, they're not all bad, but of course, they do have certain connotations there. We do have a full blood moon eclipse occurring on the 7th or the 8th, depending on your time zone. And full moons, they offer closure forgiveness and an opportunity to really release and let go. And you're going to be influenced by your 12th house in that area. But partnered with an eclipse, you might just slam that door to the past, lock it, and throw away the key. Emotions will run super high, so you may feel a little bit sensitive, but your soul knows exactly what you finally need to let go of, and you owe it to yourself to set yourself free. Now, the blood moon encourages you to do the shadow work, to really assess and deep dive emotionally, to release any challenging emotions that you've been holding on to. And if you've been feeling like you've been drifting, even though you have goals and targets to hit, sometimes you can feel like you're on autopilot in some way. This is a big problem-solving month from that Virgonian energy. It helps you to remain structured, but also get back on track and really rediscover that spark. Also, be mindful this month, eclipses can amplify anxiety or give a platform to your inner critic. Remember that this too shall pass, so be compassionate with your wonderful self. Also, animals tend to become anxious or unsettled during eclipses as well, so we all feel the effects. Extra cuddles for pets will be important this month as well. Now, what's wonderful about this lunar eclipse, because as I mentioned, not all eclipses are negative, it actually trines Jupiter. Trines are super positive, and Jupiter is a planet of good luck. So expect positive results or outcomes on things that you've been working really hard to accomplish. There you have the Magician, so something you're manifesting is coming to fruition in September there for you. And also, anything you've been investing your time in, you're going to see some positive advancements there as well. Saturn is currently retrograding, but it will return to the sign of Pisces this month. So you may revisit and breathe new life into old projects. Anything you've been meaning to get round to, this is the month to return to it and complete it. Also, karmically, any unresolved issues are reviewed, but this time to problem solve, to purify, and start with a clean slate. If you want to change your life, this is definitely the month to lead positively with intention, as manifestation frequencies are super high. And because you have that Magician card there, I feel like you're tapping into it more than most. Now, also, the partial solar eclipse. Let's talk about that, okay? Because on the 21st or 22nd, depending on which hemisphere you reside in, it coincides with the black new moon in Virgo. Now, I have to give you this one straight. This eclipse may not play nice. It's not as positive as, the lunar eclipse. That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or negative. However, it may raise some tensions collectively, which is why structure will definitely be the key to managing September. Expect things like plot twists, people canceling on you or letting you down, or something coming in last minute that requires your attention, having to reschedule something, that sort of energy. That's what you can expect at the end of the month there. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, September is a pivotal shift month. We may witness an economical wobble, which harvests very serious conversations around global bankruptcy and draconian ways to replenish governmental purses. And as I mentioned before, eclipses are harbingers of change, and these particular eclipses will really steal the show. Now, in ancient times, a blood moon eclipse often symbolized the fall of a king, a leader, or someone of great influence. So we may see headlining news around this or their substitute or body double. For example, if that makes sense, my guides gave me that energy of body double. Could also be a member of security, for example. And, we'll certainly continue to see shocking exposés centered around public figures during this time as their hidden dark side comes to light, questioning their position of influence or power. Now, solar eclipses in particular were often interpreted as causing anger, conflict, and uprising. So we may see growing tensions rise globally as people seek to be heard and represented fairly. Eclipses also tend to affect nature in very extreme ways, and we're already witnessing amplified shifts. This month could see things reach a critical point. We could see fiery seismic shifts amplifying water-related events. The eclipses are in the signs of Pisces and Virgo, water and earth. So those elements, of course, may be affected the most. And also seeing conversations directed around shaking up healthcare systems, implementing new protocols, super positive there. Critical debates around unemployment and the advancement of AI or replacement technology will hit the headlines from now, basically, for the next couple of years, because it'll be highlighting what a future could look like if technology becomes more celebrated than human talent. It's not all doom and gloom, of course. This is a big course-correcting month, so these conversations will be centered around co-aligning with technology so that we can, use it to complement our skill set rather than replace it. So we could see some changes going on there as well. And of course, there's so many levels to energy. There's global energy, there's personal energy. So on a personal level, we also have K2 in the sign of Leo, and that's going to work really hard to see you receive recognition and gain for past efforts. And remember, Jupiter cheerleading for you on the sidelines, sending extra luck your way, willing you to win, and of course sending extra benevolence until it retrogrades on the 11th of November. So whilst it may seem that things are falling apart, it is here that things fall together and come back stronger. This is a perfect month to refine or introduce rituals where you raise vibrations. Virgonian frequencies encourage you to be in service, firstly to yourself, of course, then to those you hold dear, and then the world at large. We can all do our bit to either send or spread love and positivity. I always say, wherever you may be the soul of that place. Be present, shine your light, be confident. It starts with the wonderful self first and emanates outwards. Light a candle, play your favorite song, raise your vibrations that way, connect to nature. We are all one, and those who seek to divide shall not succeed. The world needs more light than ever before. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading. We have the equator. So this is about finding balance in your circumstances. Yes, it's going to be a very busy month for you, but I feel like you are in a structure. And of course, your sixth house is going to make you focus on your daily routines. I always say the sixth house feels a little bit dull and boring sometimes to some people, but actually it's a very important house that keeps you on top of your responsibilities, your tasks, repayment plans, debts, taking down debt, focusing on your finances, focusing on your health, being in service to your routines, and of course to any fitness goals there as well. So this card, it says to make equal. It is number 5. So if you've had any conflict, this could be you facing something head on or standing up for something, maybe standing up for equality in some area of your life, whether it's a relationship or whether it's a working environment, whether it is you trying to reach for more money to equalize the amount of effort that you're putting into something so that you can get a fair recompense financially. This is an energy, of course, of finding the balance in your life in general. Equality amongst people is, of course, a worthy goal. So a lot of you could be, implementing some sort of humanitarian efforts. Maybe you're doing some charity work or fighting for what you believe in. This is a period where you are working towards something that is going to either be shared out with you and your family, or it could be something that perhaps you feel, you have been working hard to accomplish, but has not been in balance, or something has not been fair. This is a month to make sure that you're back on track and things are fair, okay? But also, because your 12th house is influencing you, this is a deep dive emotionally. This is about you focusing on, more sensitive emotions about how you feel about your goals, your sense of purpose, where you feel like you're at right now. And you may feel that, there's certain areas in your life that you are unhappy with. So this is about setting things in motion, a foundation, as it were, in order to course correct or rediscover that spark. This is an energy of making some gentle changes, shall we say. It doesn't always have to be an extreme reaction to change. It can be that you're making some gentle changes there in order to refine your goals or to have a breakthrough. I actually feel like you're under a lot of pressure right now. You're trying to remain super organized and structured, be disciplined with your time, and your 12th house is going to help you kind of detox on a personal level. It's going to help you look at your diet, be more active. It's also going to help you with mental awareness and mental health. If you've been under a lot of pressure, this could see you seeking, mindfulness apps or improving your focus, journaling, maybe even like meditating a little bit more, downloading, self-help apps, or, reading books, or listening to podcasts that help you create balance within yourself. But also this can be to channel your energy into having a breakthrough, because I definitely see some sort of start or launching something. So it could be that you're making an effort to have all the components of your life come together so that they complement each other, because this doesn't just have to be about people. Of course, there's two people in this card, and it is about being in harmony in relationships. So you may be looking at areas where you feel there has been a little bit of conflict, or you felt a little bit detached from somebody, especially in your home space. There could have been a period where you felt like you needed to go off and do your own thing, and it may have put a strain on a relationship or a friendship recently, or you're watching yourself outgrow a situation or a person, and you are maturing to the position where you realize that, sometimes when you have a little bit more detachment or a little bit more independence, that can actually foster a healthier relationship with a person. So if you're spending a lot of time with someone in particular, sometimes, there can be a little bit of conflict sometimes because people feel a bit frustrated. It can be that both parties are becoming a little bit more independent. You're not necessarily growing apart. It can be that you're finding your way independently of each other, but you're still together, as it were, and that fosters a really healthy relationship. So if you're with your partner, for example, for some of you, if you're with a partner and you work with a partner, it can be that you're trying to find independent things like hobbies or interests outside of the relationship and outside of the working environment that can actually, keep the spark in the relationship. You're kind of like going off doing wonderful, exciting endeavors and then come back together and then share those endeavors so that, you're not in each other's pockets all the time, if that makes sense, okay? This doesn't have to be with a relationship. It could be a family member that you're trying to, be very close to, but at the same time foster some sort of independence there as well. Now, of course, this card can also indicate that you're trying to make advancements in your career, okay, and you want to make it fair. So if you are in a career right now, this is a card that can sometimes, especially with the 12th house, that can raise some doubts or fears. If you're looking at people who are making great advancements and you're more talented than that person, it may be that they were given more opportunities. This is a card that kind of helps you make sure that you do not compare yourself to other people. I mean, this is an energy of tapping into your resources and recognizing that, you are building something for your future where you value yourself, you're respected, you're following your heart, and you could have like all systems go on a project or a promotion. I feel something new, especially new information or communication is coming in there, and I feel that this is the breakthrough that you've been waiting for. So it could be promotion vibes or some sort of review period. I mean, this could be you personally in review about your life, because your 12th house is, all encompassing. You're focused on your healing, your mind space, you're looking at any limiting beliefs as well. Doubts or fears. I mean, my beautiful Aries, you're normally a goal setter and a goal getter, but your 12th house can raise some doubts occasionally, or it could make you focus on what could go wrong, but actually everything goes right. Okay, so just be a little bit mindful there. Now, if you are someone who is looking for a job, for example, right now, I actually see a new kind of like high-ranking position coming on in. I feel like the interview process is going to be really challenging. Just be mindful of that, okay? Because we do have the storm energy, Queen of Swords. You could deal with someone who's very disconnected or someone who is very kind of harsh in the interview. It's almost like this person's going through something personal, but also it's a test, okay? Because there may be some challenging dynamics in the working environment that you're about to get a job in, because I feel actually you get the role. With that Ace of Swords, something has been handed to you, but it's because you have the information, the knowledge, the talent, and the know-how. So it could be an exciting position. You'll be signing some contracts on that. I feel like you defend yourself really well in the interview, but it does feel like a test. So if you feel that you go for an interview and you feel that this person is very aloof or detached or very analytical It's almost like they're testing you. Know that this person really loves what you're about. They just want to see if you can work well under pressure, because I feel this environment is very fast paced. And although you're going to love what you do and you rise to the challenge, I feel like you do get very tested, which may feel a little bit unfair. But actually, if you pass a test with this person, actually, this person becomes an ally for life in this industry or career environment, because they see a little bit of themselves in you. And now they're just testing you. So just watch out for that. You may go for a couple of interviews, but when you have a face-to-face interview with this one person, I feel like they're very direct, and that could come across as disinterested or aloof, but know that this person actually is very invested in seeing you thrive. They want you to pass. So go into that interview knowing that this person wants you to pass. Okay, and that they are kind of like vouching for you when they give the sign of approval. And when they do give this sign of approval, which they will, I feel a lot of people will actually see you as someone who is really awesome at what you do, because not everyone passes the test. This person, they do not hire people readily, as it were. So I feel like you are the golden child, as it were, of this new role. Well, you're the golden adult of this role, as it were. I just feel like you're the star employee by passing this interview. Okay, so that's coming through there. So if you are looking for a role, I feel there's just one that comes in that really is like the big deal, the big dream job opportunity. And if you're currently in a job right now and you have no intentions, as it were, of moving right now, I feel there is a person who tries to micromanage, but I feel like you are distancing yourself from this person. And yes, they're testing you, but it could be they're testing you because they're aware there's a new position coming up. This could be an appraisal that you have where you hear news about a new role or a new project or a new client or even a new department that you will be figureheading in time. And if you work for yourself, this could be a very challenging new client or new customer that comes in. But I feel you conduct yourself with such professionalism, they're really impressed. And through word of mouth, they actually expand your client base or your finances. Okay, so that's coming through. I just see that you may deal with a very challenging person in the month of September, but the way that you deal with this is really celebrated. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. Now, if your industry has been going through a major revamp or some challenging times, I feel with that Seven of Wands there, you protect your position, and I feel like you're dedicated to a lot of success. I feel if you work for yourself, this could be a new idea that you're launching, or even a new business strategy, or even a new avenue. Even if you work for a company, I feel there could be a deep dive on something that you'd love to see that is a change in your industry, and you put those changes in motion and you are raring to go. This is a lot of success. This is you submerging yourself into projects, and a lot of you, it can be that you're working really hard in order to quieten the inner critic, but also to limit any distractions, because you're headed to the top and you're not going to allow anything to get in your way. And the universe is sending reward. This is divine intervention. There are definitely changes going on in your career sector, but ones that will benefit you long term. That's something that's coming through. You will celebrate some sort of good news here, or something new that comes in that is for your highest good. And things pick up a lot of pace at the end of September. So I feel this is about preparing for the pace at the end of September. Okay. Now, it's not all about career, of course. This is about your solid foundation, but in terms of money, let's address it. Four of Pentacles. This is about you taking ownership of your finances, perhaps being a little bit stricter with your finances with that Queen of Swords. You may implement new financial strategies and stick to those strategies and plans, savings goals, but also your sixth house is about the responsibilities of taking down debt, credit card debt, higher purchases, mortgages, repayment plans, things like that. It's about keeping house, okay, and keeping your house in order. That's what your whole month is about. But also, your 12th house is going to make you focus on your body, in some way, and of course on your mindfulness. But the Four of Pentacles is also an energy of not holding on to anything that is limiting you. And of course, with that snake there, this is the year of the snake, I feel a lot of you could be focusing on a detoxifying kind of plan or strategy. You may also be in training with something there that is hard won, but it literally will change your life, because snakes shed old skin, of course. So this could be a rebirth in some way, a brand new you. You're going to see all of your efforts start to really shape up, and you're going to be really proud of yourself that you took the ownership to, you know, create a little bit more balance or structure in your life, be a little bit more disciplined with your time, because it gives you more time for you or more time out. Now, of course, the Hermit energy can indicate a lot of you want more independence, or you're going solo on something, whether it's a solo project or whether it is, you know, things have got a little bit too people-y recently and you just want to have a little bit more independent me time. This is a big period of self-reflection. 12th house is all about spirituality, of course, so it can be that you're reaffirming your belief system, your life philosophy, but also this is about your vision of the future and really reflecting on where you see any energy drains going on, because you may be looking at having a little bit more vitality. You may notice that, you know, your vitamins are all on top, you know, but you may notice that perhaps your water levels, you may feel that you're dehydrated, or there may even be a mineral that you feel is lacking. Or if you're visiting a healthcare practitioner during this month, you may actually have like a full body kind of checkup there, and it may be that minerals in your body, a certain mineral in particular, is lacking, and you may actually, you know, discover that, and that wisdom helps you recalibrate and get back into balance. A lot of you, if you're going through any hormonal fluctuations this month, you may also identify water as a source to recalibrate, but also this mineral could be also, you know, some sort of elixir or something that a healthcare provider recommends that helps you get back into balance. And there is more vitality, more energy, more get up and go going on there as well. Now, of course, the protagonist energy is the Hermit. So this can mean a lot of you are going off grid or off radar in order to focus on projects. But also this is a card that asks you to go inwards for truth. You're asking yourself, are you happy in all areas of life? And if you're not in certain areas, for example, if you want to be in a position to find love, it could be that you're putting yourself in a position to meet new people. It could be a little bit more sociable at the end of the month. You know, the beginning of the month is all about you prioritizing your own needs. And then, of course, the end of the month is getting a little bit more active, being in social situations, connecting to your hobbies. But we also have cleansing here. So I would say this is a big detox month, body, mind, and soul. Looking at what you observe, because the Hermit is an observer. So it can be, you know, you looking at things that you read, that you watch perhaps, and how it affects your body. Everything we absorb, we kind of like hold in our pain body or our muscles or our muscle memory. So even if you watch like a horror movie, I love a spooky movie, right? In your 12th house, you may actually actively seek documentaries about the unknown, or you'll be trying to find the facts on that as well. So you'll be investigating those things, even though you may be watching a documentary about it. You'll reinforce it with facts there as well. So you may be interested in, you know, higher realms, what's beyond the veil, for example, what's in space, what's going on like in otherworldly environments, shall we say. And this is something that also informs us and stays with us. So as I said, I love a spooky movie. If you love a spooky movie, of course, there may be some jump scares there, but that all kind of raises cortisol levels. And I'm not saying don't watch those things, because, you know, they're interesting and they're fun to watch. But at the same time, everything that we in our environment have, we absorb. Okay, so it can be that you're looking at those areas and seeing where you can make sure you take down cortisol levels, or make sure that you are aware of what you're absorbing and how it informs you in order to promote peace of mind. Because, of course, your 12th house is all about protecting your inner peace. So a lot of you are withdrawing from any toxicity. You know, the snake can represent toxicity there. And You may be cathartically releasing some emotions to clear the air there for you as well, because this month is all about that karmic release. Now, this card, it's number 23. When you reduce it, it's another 5. 5s are challenge. So you may be challenging yourself by confronting something head on. But this card, it is all about the release. Storms. You've been under a lot of pressure, or you've been holding yourself to higher standards, and you've been holding it all together. You're completely exhausted, but it is here that you release the pressure, so you may be a little bit more sensitive than usual there. But also, you know, this card in particular is about letting go of past situations, or letting go of anything that does not serve a higher purpose. And you're being really strict with this. Whatever this is, it's going to be different for everybody, of course. This is about cutting something out and facing your future. So I feel like you're moving on from something this month. And of course, this is releasing the pressure. You know, you can actually view pressure as being negative, or you can see it as a shaper of worlds. You know, when we're comfortable in life, we rarely make changes. We just remain on course. But when we're feeling a little bit like off kilter, we feel something is causing us tension, that's when we spring into action and make some changes for the better. And some of you may actually be changing the way that you communicate, because there may be a person in particular who makes you feel a bit defensive this month. You may be standing up for something, confronting something head on, something that perhaps has been persisting for some time, and actually you diplomatically, because of course Queen of Swords can be very blunt, but it's in the resistance position, diplomatically speak your truth. You're authentic in it, but you may not like raise your voice. Often when people calmly state their intentions or calmly tell you about their boundaries, because this is a boundary card right there, that is often an indication that a person is like at the end of their tether, or they've reached their limit. So you may actually reinforce a boundary very calmly, but that's when a person knows that you are super serious, that this is their last chance, okay? So I feel you may give someone a last chance, and if they do not kind of meet your expectations on your boundaries, you could literally be cutting this person out of your life this month, okay? That's something that sees you like moving forward and like burning that bridge and not going back. This could be an ex returning to your life in some way, or it could be a problem that has played out in a relationship, or you know, a conversation that seems to be going round and round in circles. You're like, that's it. I'm not having this conversation anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. It stops now. Now, of course, this card is an energy of requiring a lot of energy in order to release what you no longer need. So you may be making some radical changes this month, planning something that requires a lot of your effort and time. That's why you're protecting your peace, withdrawing from any distractions. Some of you may be deciding to relocate, or you may be actually launching something, or something requires your focus and it requires a lot of energy in order to let go of it or implement it. This is an energy that indicates that I feel like you're releasing drama for sure, but I also feel like this is you being very specific in what it is that you require in your life, okay? And you're going to see some radical change this month, and it's really positive. That's what I'm seeing, because your outcome energy is super positive. It's something you manifested. It's something that perhaps you've been waiting for a long time. Maybe it is this release of pressure. You get a relief when something you've been trying to accomplish or waiting for as news comes in. You know, this means that suddenly your thoughts become things, basically, and it is a major breakthrough. We have the sun there, so it's divinely guided. This is a radical transformation. You're going to see lots of meaningful coincidences before this actually occurs, because it feels like you're moving on from pressure or challenge in some way. And it requires you being very strict with your boundaries, but also being self-sufficient. So there is this energy of going off and doing your own thing with the Queen of Swords. This is, you know, you being very well organized, because I feel there is a bit of a plot twist for you at the end of the month, but it actually sets some things in motion that is exciting for you there as well. So if you're launching something new or hatching new plans, or if you are doing something that goes against the norm, people may be shocked, but actually this is your path and you're owning your truth on this. I mean, I feel that you are organized and productive and you're getting a lot of things done. You're going to look back on September like you accomplished a lot and you're going to be super proud of yourself there as well. I also feel like something out of the blue comes here for you where it sees you being at a peak, like personal best. So this can be that if you're entering a competition or you're taking a test, you pass it and you're above the competition, or you are like first in line for a promotion or a reward in some way. This could be that you're gaining recognition or engaged in sustained effort. You know, this means that you're committed to something and you're locked onto a goal with such precision that you're going to see it through to the end. A lot of you are completing tasks in order to have a vacation or some time away. I mean, I feel a lot of you are like completing something you have in motion and then on to the next thing. And I feel this is a card of discipline. It's a card of conviction and taking accountability and responsibility for your hopes, dreams, goals, and wishes. And you're a very talented person. You know, you have all the skills that you need and everything you need basically within yourself, but you also have unlimited resources and you're going to have the energy and the drive to see things through to the end successfully. I feel a lot of you on a personal level also have felt very like on autopilot, like you're just showing up and bringing your A game every day, and it's been hard and you've been under a lot of pressure, and this month is going to release the pressure because remember, these are all in resistance positions in this pile. So this can indicate that, you know, suddenly there is relief. Suddenly, you know, something that you accomplish, it's such a joy that finally you reach that end of the project, or you, for some of you, it can be that you're talking to somebody new and you're building a friendship, and it can be that you have, you know, a connection with somebody. But I feel a lot of you are actually returning to that passionate spark within yourself. You're returning home to self after a period of being on autopilot, because sometimes, you know, we can ask ourselves, what do we want for the month ahead? And when we're like, okay, I want all of these things, but ultimately I know it's going to be business as usual. It's going to be the same thing. So you're in a cycle of repeat. That sixth house is going to make you have that structure, that consistency. And sometimes we have to acknowledge that a routine or repetitive cycle means that we are a pro at what we do. You're on autopilot. It's just happening. And that creates space for new things to come on in because you've been there, done that, you've got it up and running, and then you could be launching something new. Money-making ideas, new ways of exploring your neighborhood, or even, you know, new friendships, new alliances, networking opportunities coming in here for you this month as well. But the Seven of Wands, this is an energy of some of you, you know, building more confidence after a lack of confidence in some area, which is rare for you, my beautiful Aries. But of course, you know, your 12th house is going to raise a lot of fears and hopes and dreams and wishes and, you know, all those unseen emotions that lay buried. So, you know, you're going to be going through a period of catharticism this month as well. And it's like the dam bursts and there's a lot of emotion there. So you may feel a little bit more sensitive than usual. Also, the Seven of Wands is an energy of pressure, stress, but it's in the resistance position. So it means, you know, a stressful situation is corrected, or there's relief there, or you catch a break on something. Also, I would say that, you know, the Seven of Wands energy is about competition, and, you know, you could have a little bit of conflict with a person who sees you as competition. Someone is jealous of your advancement, or jealous of a promotion that's coming in for you, or jealous of your looks. You know, you're someone who is very attractive, both inside and out. There's just this energy of someone perhaps kind of seeing what you have and wanting what you have. And it could even be like a frenemy energy. You know, someone that perhaps the relationship is distancing, or it feels like it's strained in some way. This person is looking at you like you have everything that they ever wanted, even though they are not really aware of how hard it is for you to show up for yourself every day, remain, you know, inspired and passionate about what you do. Even when things are going right for you, or even things are going wrong, you're actually still showing up and you're powering on through. And they just don't have at this time the tenacity to keep bringing their A game. And I know that you're exhausted there, but I feel on the outside, people are looking at you like you're very successful. And on the inside, you're always like in competition with yourself, reaching for more. And whilst that is an admirable kind of trait that you have, just be a little bit more compassionate with yourself this month, okay? Because the pressure, whilst I feel it is released mid-month, the pressure at the beginning of the month may be a little bit on, but you're going to create this balance in order to complete tasks and, have this breakthrough here. I feel like you're working up towards something. So this could be a month where you've been planning something for some time, and now the moment is arriving for you, whether it is you launching a new lifestyle choice. For some of you, you may have had a wake-up call on pressure or high cortisol levels, and it can be that now you're creating some sort of balance or harmony or trying to manage stress levels in order to manage health goals there. It could also be heart health that you're looking into. I mean, I don't see anything negative here. I want you to be aware of that. You've got really positive cards, but it could be something that you are called to think about because of your 12th house, and of course because of your 6th house. Your 6th house is all about health, especially with the Virgonian influence. That's going to amplify that. So you're going to be thinking about what's good for you and what's not good for you, what triggers you, what causes you pressure and stress. Now, pressure, as I said, is a shaper of worlds. You're going after something super positive. You're going to have a breakthrough here, something to celebrate there for you this month as well. But also, there's a different way of conducting yourself. And what I mean by that is that, you can pressurize yourself to level up or upgrade your life in some way. But, sometimes we can put pressure on ourselves where we start to feel frustrated or angered in some way. And I feel like you are making sure that you cancel out the anger or frustration, and you're tapping more into this sense of, challenging yourself to do more things that you're excited about in order to follow your heart. This card is literally like life breath. This is about your soul purpose. You're going to be focused on that, of course, this month. But also, it's number 27, connects there to the Hermit energy, which basically means you're focused on what you love in your life and wanting to do more of that. But also, this is an energy of moving forward, and it's about focusing on your breath, okay? Because I feel this is about you catching your breath literally and letting it all go. Sometimes it's about slowing down the breath in order to ground yourself. If there's a situation you've been worried about, I feel like you get this relief. This is literally a card of relief, like, whew, you've been trying to accomplish something, or you didn't know how something was going to go, and suddenly you get that thumbs up from the universe that everything is moving in your favor. And also, I'm being given this energy of like taking a deep breath and thinking about your strategy, doing a deep dive, and finding out that actually sometimes you give yourself a little bit of time or space to accomplish something, and you may put a lot on your to-do list, and those may be unrealistic expectations. So if you've got 20 things on your to-do list for a day, you may be like sometimes feeling like you let yourself down because you only accomplished like 19 of those things, right? And it can be that if you set yourself more realistic, balanced goals there, then you will complete those tasks to a high degree, and then you can just add things to your list. Because sometimes, if you have 20 things on your to-do list and you reach 19, you're always going to look at that one thing you didn't accomplish and think, oh, I didn't manage to do that one thing. But if you have like 15 things on your to-do list and you're like, yes, I completed all those things, and now I have time to fit in those extra 5, you just feel like, you're on top of things and you're in a more powerful position. Because I feel a lot of you, you're your own worst critic is what I'm seeing here. And I feel like it's about managing things in balance and reciprocity for you this month. It just helps you this month because you are going to be very busy at the end of September there. Now, also, some of you may be implementing some breath, exercises. This could be somatic breathing exercises. It could also be that you're looking at, centering yourself through your breath. If you're up for a major kind of interview or audition, if you're a performer, or if you are, going through some health issues right now and you're worried about the news or worried about tests, this is about breathing and grounding and recognizing that, you are moving forward towards this transformation that is super positive. Okay, so this news that comes in, it is positive. The Magician energy indicates that you're manifesting this good news. And, of course, you may be feeling like you need to protect yourself before this happens. When we're about to do something monumental or about to get something like really successful, or even if we're about to find out something, we can always catastrophize and think about worst case scenario. But this month is all about best case scenario for you, because I feel this deep dive, yes, you're going to be emotional, but also I feel like this breakthrough is so exciting, or this next stage of your life is so exciting, it feels like you need to replenish your energy or take stock of things or take a moment before it all kicks off, if that makes sense. So some of you, if you're online because you have the Queen of Swords, you may be trying to automate businesses or trying to, utilize technology in a way that helps you promote your business or get online or be seen. You could go viral, or you could get more attention this month. If you're in a career, this is definitely more attention. You've done all the hard work, you've submerged yourself in something, and suddenly there is that breakthrough moment. We've got depth. So yes, of course, the 12th house is making you do that deep dive. But this card, it is number 31, which when you reduce it is 4. So this is about grounding. This is a month that is important to ground, but it also says you're not taking the shallow alternative in life. It means that you're seeing something through to the end. You're seeing the whole picture of your life, and you're taking your time with a decision. And as soon as you make that decision, because this is a card of clarity, as soon as you make that decision, you're going to know the path, you're on it, and then you're moving forward with greater speed. Whether you're relocating your life abroad, whether you are deciding to retire, whether you're deciding to set up your own business, or whether you're deciding to follow your passions on something or get more involved in the community and meet love. There's definitely some sort of chemistry between you and a new person. If you're looking for love, I feel like you could be talking to somebody new this month, especially at the end of the month. There's definitely some sort of affinity that you have with a new person where there's a lot of chemistry and there's a spark there. But I feel like there is some change here that you're implementing that sees you advance with greater speed. This is setting your soul on fire. This is about living your passions and allowing your spirit to drive you forward. Do not overthink the situation. We're in Virgonian season, of course, and that is going to try and slow you down and make you overanalyze a situation. But your gut instinct knows the way. All the answers you seek are within you, and this is about moving forward and I would say expansion or advancement. This is a very exciting card to end on, really, because it basically means that you're forging new landscapes, and now is the time to innovate and take action. And, you're shining your light. You're ablaze, as it were. Yes, you're going to be doing a lot of things, but ignition, fire, it feels like this piece of information gives you that spring in your step, something you'll celebrate, or has that ignition, that spark for you to move ahead. Now, of course, some of you may be signing contracts or paperwork this month. Make sure you do your due diligence and look a little bit deeper at the clauses, because there may be something that you don't agree with in that contract that you may have to stand up for or defend. Okay, and once you get the go-ahead, of course, then it's all systems go. You could be completing on a property this month, for example, as well, because your 6th house will make you think about, the tangible things in your life, anything that is solid and true. And your 12th house can ask you where you feel like you belong. So it's about home. Home is a feeling, not necessarily a place, but it can also partner with that 6th house. So you could be looking further afield for property, could be long-term goals you're thinking about at this time. And you suddenly discover the place that you want to reside, and then you complete on that. I mean, this is a breakthrough energy. And in terms of health, I would say some of you, if you are waiting for news on like a date for an operation or a procedure, this will come in last minute. I feel there could be a cancellation, for example, giving you a space, and you may have to rethink some things or reschedule some things in order to, factor this procedure in. You're in great hands. Queen of Swords indicates someone who's very knowledgeable, someone who is very precise, someone who actually is very realistic, and I feel they actually have good bedside manner as well. There's a lot of compassion in this person. So I feel like you're in really good hands. So that may come through as well. You may have been hoping for this appointment And I feel it comes through for you there as well. Now, also, it is going to be a bit of a juggling act for you there, especially at the end of the month. The Magician card indicates personal power. Okay, so powering on through to accomplish great things. I mean, some of you may have just come back from a vacation or some time away, and now it feels like you're setting really strict goals for yourself and sticking to those structures and back to your hopes, dreams, and wishes and manifesting to a high degree. You're going to see pretty much instant news on things that you've been manifesting or working hard to accomplish. It really feels like you're structured, focus, and your vision of what you want for your future starts to become your reality because you're taking responsibility for your next steps. Now we have ignition and fire with the Ace of Swords. Aces are divinely guided, so there could be some divine intervention that sees you either launch a project or launch a new way of living in some way, or start something that you will see through to the end. Now, this doesn't always have to be career related, but if you are in a career, I see major advancements for you, major opportunities, new doors opening that are going to be very excited. You manifested this, but most importantly, you worked hard for this. So you're going to really celebrate yourself. But this could also be that, you know, if you're being more active, you're going to see the results of that on your body. If you're paying more attention to your health goals, diet-related endeavors as well, sleeping patterns, you're going to see that you're going to have like optimum health. And of course, you know, brain fog, if you've been experiencing that, will be lifting. You're just going to see clearer. You're having an achievement. This is a card of achievement, but you had the courage of your convictions to run with something or to kind of like get into the flow of making something happen. Okay, so this is about leading with your truth as well. Anything more? I mean, I feel this is a month where you're just keeping life running smoothly and restarting anything that you want to get back on track with, making sure that you don't break into an old habit or cycle of repeat, and you're going to make major advancements. You're going to have a lot more energy as well at the end of the month there. And I mean, in terms of finances, I feel like you're maintaining a certain amount of money. There may be new money-making ideas that come in that you actually put into practice, things that perhaps automate as well. And that will free you up, because I feel a lot of you are thinking about getting ahead of yourself or scheduling something in order to kind of have more time for you, more time for hobbies, passions. I mean, look at this deck. It's amazing. I'm clarifying even in another deck, and you've got clarity and harmony, and that's literally what your whole month is about this month. Clarity, you know, focus on the next steps of your plans. We've got enlightenment here as well. So your first card is clarity. And there's a lot of clarity here. So if you've been brainstorming on something, or if you've been trying to break through something, suddenly the answers you seek are going to be made available to you. We've got, it is time to quieten the inner chatter and seek stillness within. You're definitely on it. You're basically on track to do that. And it says, what truly matters will emerge as you stay grounded. Trust that the answers you seek are within you and will reveal themselves in their own time. Only then will you be able to see your path with greater insight and clarity. And that came out definitely in your reading. Sometimes I really wonder where the readings are going. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm channeling at the same time as scrying. The only image that's coming through for you scrying wise, because it's only coming through right now that I'm really talking about it, is a tree. So this can be staying grounded, planting roots, and also branching out and growth, personal growth. So also it can be about generational wealth. Some of you may be looking at those structures there as well. We've got number 22. Okay, this is a master number, very important. And it says harmony. The harmony that heals you will reside in your alignment. So this is getting into alignment. It says it's a beautiful balance between mind, body, and soul. I did mention that earlier in your reading as well. Tuning into your heartbeat, the beat of the universe, and it will align you with the highest version of yourself. Good things will happen when you take the path of least resistance. Okay, as I said, I feel like you're having a breakthrough or you're catching a break. You're releasing the pressure in some way, and also, you know, you're harmonizing. This card literally has the heartbeat of the universe, and you are connected to that. So you may be thinking about heart health as well as what you love, following your heart. and it will help you make some major breakthroughs. Things will just happen easier for you at the end of September. And we've got 1111, soul path number. And it says here, enlightenment, you are walking a path towards enlightenment, where you will reach a state of being that transcends the physical realm. As you embark on a journey within you, you touch the divine essence of your existence, discovering the realization of your true nature and the truth beyond the veil of illusions and ignorance. So it's owning your truth, walking tall, being really proud of who you are and what you're accomplishing right now, working with the resources that you have, and the path is opening up a clearer portal for you to, be very successful in your endeavors and kind of regenerate your energy and forge new landscapes there as well. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Ooh, we have the butterfly, so it's all about transformation. It also can be that you're expanding your wings and taking flight in some area of your life. A lot of you, this is about your energy levels, but it can also be about your personal projects taking off there as well. There's big change happening for you this month. And also we have the moon cycles. There's a pentacle right in the middle there. So this can be that, you're focused on your finances, creating stability, trying to take down debt, but also, looking at your 401ks and your pension pots and your acquisitions for a financial future there as well. But we have moon cycles, so you're going to be affected highly by that. This is a symbol that connects to the high priestess. So this can be that you feel like you have one foot in the old you or your old life, as it were, and there's a new chapter or a new version of you emerging right now, and you're reaching for new things. And as you spiritually evolve or transform, things shed, things fall away. Relationships, you outgrow them, or you transcend them, or they grow with you. So this could be you looking at hobbies or even your neighborhood environment where you feel like you are detaching or feeling like that you are outgrowing in some way in order to move on or move forward. So you may be discovering new passions, new relationships, forging new pathways to all that you desire. And it comes at the cost of personal development. And that period can feel a little bit isolating, discombobulating, or it can be that you are in a deep period of reflection in order to know the way. The High Priestess energy, which the Hermit, of course, and this trinket, it can indicate that this is a big month where your life is in review, where you're planning, you're looking at where you've been, where you are right now, and where you want to take things to next. You're calculating the next steps with that Queen of Swords energy, and suddenly you know the way, and then you hit the ground running and you're moving forward with greater speed because now you can see the end in sight. Suddenly the light at the end of the tunnel, or the thing that you want to reach, because it's different for everybody, you will now accomplish it, and the universe supports your path. So things are happening for you. Things are not against you this month. I want you to be aware of that. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Aries. Now also, if you would like to be in with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to an emoji candle, then just write the word candle and my guides will bring me to one subscriber to win that reading. And I'll announce the winner at the end of September. So thank you so much, my beautiful Aries, and love and light.